offended Jenny whenever I was talking about Steve.
Propelio TV is sponsored by Batch Skip Tracing, CreativeCashflow.com, Noble Mortgage and Investments, and Lifeonaire.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Ground Zero Show. Today we're going to be talking about big boy gang moves, aka boss status stuff. This is for all of my wholesalers that have already gotten a couple of deals, that are wanting to create a team, that are wanting to be a boss of their own company. I got my man Sheldon, and we're going to be talking about how to build your team, when you should start building your team, and different ways that you can scale your wholesaling business, guys. So we'll be right back to you guys after this intro. Thank you. Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Quentin Flores. Welcome to Ground Zero. I got my buddy Sheldon. Sheldon,
hey.
Introduce yourself. Tell them a little bit about you, what you've been doing.
Well, I'm Sheldon Epperson. I own We Are Home Hunters, LLC, and I do wholesale. I've got a couple of properties that I own, and yeah, that's what I do. Real estate, more real estate.
Nice, man. How long have you been doing it?
Actually, I've been in this for 2.5, almost 3 years. So,
3 years?
Yeah.
And what would you say sparked the idea of you wanting to get involved in this business for all my people that are watching right here?
Man, honestly, I was homeless, sleeping in my car, and I just I had to do something. My cousin actually came to me and said, "Oh, cuz, you know what about real estate?" And I said, "Man, I don't got no money to get into that." And she's like, "Nah." And at the time, she was just getting started too. So I did a little research, like everybody does, YouTube University, and
that's the best way to learn, right?
Man, went from there. That's about it. So.
Nice, nice. How long have you been doing this?
About 3 years. About
3
3 years. Yeah.
Three. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm going on 5, man. I'm already growing grays, bro. I'll tell you right now. I mean, would you say you're at a point right now, though? I mean, I think we had a conversation last night, and you and I were going over team and whatnot. I really want to talk about that because it was a super powerful conversation.
Yeah.
So you just started building your team, right?
Right. Just started building my team. Backup I had a team going when I lived in Houston. You know,
H-Town.
Yeah, man. I started off doing this in Houston. And
bro, I have
team,
a Screwhead tattooed right here.
Oh yeah, you like Screw?
I love DJ Screw.
Oh man, you know
We're
what?
We're gonna make the rest of this episode in slow motion.
Slow motion.
Know what I'm saying? Right? No,
yeah, man. No, I mean, so the thing about Houston is it's just a different market, a different kind of market. And then, you know, Harvey hit, and that pushed me down here. So as far as working with a team out here, I had some brief dealings with me and a partner. That didn't necessarily work out. We had 2 different styles within management and coaching and things of that sort. So now building my team back up. Yeah, that's right.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. I know those pains right there.
Yeah.
I call those growing pains in your business, man. So my partner Rosa, she's now hosting the women's edition for the Ground Zero show. She's super awesome. You saw her last week. She was totally killing it.
She's a beast.
And Rosa, her and I mean, she is probably the female version of me in every single way.
Okay.
She's my business partner. Yeah. You know what I mean? But she wasn't always my business partner.
Yeah.
I brought her on and taught her a couple of things, and then she saw what I was doing. And then she threw her own little spin on everything, and now we own the company together.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's crazy how that happens, right? But there was growing pains that were involved that led up to that, man. And I think that when you decide that you're going to build a team, it's not just because, you know, you're tired of working alone. It's that you understand that you can do so much more
with additional people around you. That's correct.
What would you say was the spark for you that wanted to, like, you know what, I'm Sheldon, I want to build a team? What led up to that?
Well, you know, just wanting to, I realized that there was more business that I was taking on. Not just to outsource or anything like that, but it was like, well, you know, why not give other people opportunity? For instance, there's a property that I'm selling on my own, and I got so many calls from wholesalers. And, you know, sometimes you can just tell when it's a brand new wholesaler. Yeah, and so I pick up the phone, and they're using this generic script, which is very script-like And
they're scared.
yeah, they're scared. And I'm like, and I'll just play with them a little bit. You know what I mean? Just play. I will. I'll screw with them. I will screw with them. And then I'll just then make the proposition, hey, you know, what are you looking to learn? You know, what can I do for you? Because at the same time, they're out there hustling and grinding, and I wish that I would have ran into someone when I was just starting out, and they would have offered me that same opportunity. So yeah, that's what made me feel like, you know what, let's just go ahead and make a team. So in that aspect, they're now partners. They're now partners.
Man, you know, to reiterate on exactly what my buddy Sheldon just mentioned too, was that there was a vetting process involved.
Yeah.
And I know it might have been joking.
Oh, yeah.
you want 100,000? You want to offer me 100,000 for this property? I want anything less than 200,000 for this property.
Right.
I want you to bring a dog, a cup of tea, and a bowl of ramen if you really want to buy this house right now, plus an extra 100 grand.
Yeah.
You're messing with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And what is the reason for doing that? It's also to test how much they can take.
Right.
You know,
Right.
all of my people that I've signed up on my team, brother, Rosa had messaged me on Instagram for 5 months straight before I ever allowed her into my office.
Gotta see how hungry they are.
She was the hungriest I've ever found.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, out of anybody I've ever taught real estate, she has completely surpassed everyone.
And you know, this is crazy because a lot of wholesalers don't understand, or a lot of people that want to get into this industry don't understand that you have your ups, you have your downs. And when you have your downs, you have your downs. And it's are you going to continue to go? Are you determined, or are you going to just give up? And a lot of people, you see a lot of turnover with a lot of people. You'll see a bunch of people getting into groups and, oh, I'm looking for buyers. I'm looking for this and this, that, or people on Craigslist, wherever you're looking for your property. You'll see a whole bunch of them. And then a month later, poof, they're gone.
Yep.
And it's because they don't have that. And it's okay. It's not for everyone.
It isn't. It isn't.
Yeah.
And it's definitely something that you find as you progress into your business.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was for me, man. I'm going to be brutally honest. When I first got into this, I had no idea what the hell I was doing. I just went around where people were making moves and had to figure out how I could provide value for them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the same way that Rosa is starting out with me and then growing into this crazy beast that she is. For you guys who don't know, you can follow her on Instagram at Rosa_the_closer.
Okay.
And she's super awesome, man. She has completely transformed my business. And in such a way towards where I made her a 50-50 partner.
Wow.
And the reason why is because of the value that she brings to the table. There is not a lot of people that you meet like that. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I knew that doing it by myself, I'd keep all the pie. I knew that doing it by myself, I could maintain the stature of alpha in my business. Now, this is something that goes all the way back into the animal kingdom. You know what I mean? And what happens when you have a pack of wolves and you're the alpha, Sheldon? Tell me about it.
Well, what happens if I'm the alpha, then I have to be the leader of that pack. And in some cases, you know, if your leadership is, it may not even be failing, but you always have that one wolf in the pack that wants to challenge your dominance. And so then they want to pounce.
They want to pounce. They want to pounce.
That's what
and
happens.
sometimes that may make or break a partnership. I mean, like, brutally honest, I already knew that the moment that I decided, like, Quentin, okay, I can do this on my own. I can make a lot of money, but I can make more and go further if I had a team. And that's when I was like, I'm done being alone.
Yeah.
Because there's only so much young Q can accomplish on his own.
Right.
You have to draw the line between, am I a entrepreneur, business owner, CEO,
Right.
or am I this lone wolf that is
wolf
doing
business
this
owner.
as a side hobby and barely getting by?
Right.
That's what the business part of this whole thing is about, man.
Exactly.
So again, you know, then you start building the team, and then things happen, of course.
Yeah.
You know, but you figure it out along the way.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about the partnerships that you had before, the ones that failed. You don't have to mention any names.
Oh, I won't.
Yeah, you know, out of all love,
won't.
what exactly happened that led to those partnerships failing, so that people can know exactly what not to do or get involved into?
Well, the thing is, like you said, there's only one alpha. You know, there's only one chief. There can't be more than one chief. And so sometimes when you're in a partnership, you have to learn to, how do I say this? You have to learn to be a polar molecule, if that makes sense. You have to learn to be water, to flow. Water is like one of the only polar molecules, right? This is science geek talk, okay? So if you don't understand that, then polar means that you have a negative charge on one side, a positive charge on the other, and then they're cohesive, meaning they stick together. That's why water drips together, right? Okay, so if you don't have that within a partnership, then you're not coming together. You're compelling. And when you have two visions, two separate visions, you now have vision, two vision, vision, two visions. And so that's not conducive in a partnership by any means. And so that's just, you know, what happens sometimes. And it's no hard feelings. You shouldn't have hard feelings with your partners when it doesn't work out. Sometimes you're not meant for each other. That's all.
Yep. And that's okay, guys. That is completely okay. One thing that I've never done in this business is just because I did not work well with someone meant that I burnt the bridge.
Right.
Because even though I've had previous partners that I don't work with before, there's a gentleman that's on the Propelio show. His name's Jason Brown. Jason Brown was a previous business partner of mine.
Yeah.
Him and I, we did several deals together. He helped me clear 100K in my first month as a partnership with him.
Yeah.
So, you know, he got 100K and I also got 100K. And we were implementing his systems.
Yeah.
The only thing is that we couldn't lead a team together. He didn't have leadership capabilities.
Exactly.
So my partner, Jason, and I'll mention him now because I want to give him a huge shout out, guys. You can follow him at realestate_nomads on Instagram. Super cool guy. Very humble dude. He has discovered his strength. So if there's one thing that you want to do right up front when you decide to build the team is define your strength.
Right.
He read a book called Traction. And then he found out
just got that book.
what his strength was helping other business owners amplify their business, which he did to me. I
Right.
still use his systems to this day.
Right.
He's a good friend of mine. He sells those systems to everybody else now. I don't give a damn because nobody's going to use them better than me.
Right.
But Jason was a good friend of mine. Shout out to Jason Brown, guys. Show him some love in the comment section. Comment that dude. I love that guy. He's super cool, man. Him and his wife, Elizabeth Thorman, major blessings to my life.
Yeah.
So, you know, as I worked with them, I understood what a partnership really meant, and it was the synergy that needed to be involved.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to be on the same page. You know
That's
what I'm
true.
saying?
That's
So, I mean, do you have synergy with your partners currently right now?
Yes. Well, my partners currently, they're very eager. There's certain things that we do need to work on, but in what relationship do you not have what you need to work on? They're very just hungry and driven and willing to go anywhere it takes them to get this. You know, anything that's within ethical bounds, they're willing to do it. And it's just like, okay, this is the kind of partnership I've been waiting on. And I wish they could have been here today, but you'll see it.
Somebody got to work,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, right. So, yeah, there's that synergy there. Like I said, you got to be cohesive, and I definitely feel that with these group of people.
I love it,
So-
you know, and I think that as you progress too, you're going to fine tune it.
Yeah.
You're going to implement other systems to see what works and what doesn't work.
Right.
I mean, how did you get to a point where you're now closing 5 to 10 deals a month? Like,
Well,
how did you get to that
closing,
point?
I'm closing like 4 to 5 deals a month.
4 to 5?
Let's be. I don't want to over exaggerate.
All good, man.
I'm getting there though. So
Didn't you have like a 7-month recently?
yeah, I just told you recently we contracted 9 properties
Well,
in 1 week.
There we go. But 3 fell through, right? Or something like that?
Well, they haven't fell through yet. We'll
Okay,
see.
gotcha.
We'll see. I might have a buyer for them. We'll see. But okay, so what really got me to that point was just focus. I'll be honest with you. I do things kind of the old school way still. You know, I haven't started implementing any systems. I'm not a systems king or anything like that. In which that's something that I'm looking to beef up with this team. You know?
Find somebody to be that person for you.
Right.
That's where the strength is.
Exactly. So, I mean, you know, I still do driving for dollars. I still, you know, do my cold calls.
Should never go away.
You know, never going to go away. However, one little tip and trick that I've done here recently, I don't know, should I tell them?
Tell them, man.
Should I
Tell
tell
them,
them, man?
Give them
Should
some value, bro.
Should I give them the sauce, though?
Do you guys want the sauce? Comment that you want the sauce right now, man.
Comment
Come
you
on.
want- Okay, so one thing I've been doing, everybody does bandit signs, right?
Yeah.
What's your issue with bandit signs?
They get taken down.
They get taken down by county officials or city officials, other wholesalers.
Yeah, can't get enough of that.
yeah,
It's a
this-
freaking war zone.
Yeah, people that are like, don't put your sign in my area, you know. And another problem, bandit signs do work. There's no doubt about it.
For sure.
However, it comes to a point to where, you know, it's saturated where we put our bandit signs. So they've got 5 other signs. And what's the first thing you do when you're at a red light?
You look around at the things that are next to you just to get a
Right.
look at things while you're waiting.
Yeah, so you just look around, but from what I do at a red light, First thing I do is pull out my phone. And so I said, well, if I've got 5 other bandit signs around me, you know, how do I know who wants to sell and who doesn't want to sell? So yeah, we'll put those bandit signs out. I put them in the neighborhoods, in the exits coming in and out of the neighborhoods, because it's less likely that a city official is going to see it. But one of the things I've been doing is I've made my own little bandit signs, small little ones, maybe about this big, right? And I'll put it on an H stake. And every time I'm driving for dollars and I see a vacant or distressed house, I'll put it in the yard. And on the sign, it just says, I really want to buy this property. Please call my cell phone. And I put my number. Of course, it's my VUMBR number or my call rail number. It's my VUMBR number. But here's the thing. I build my buyers list so much off of this because people aren't reading that sign. They're just seeing, oh, it's got a number there. They're probably selling it. So people are calling me, hey, you got a house for sale on such and such. And I'm like, I got that under contract. Oh, no. No, you know what? I'm just trying to buy that house. However, what's your email? What's your name? What are you looking for?
Boom. Turn them into a bird dog.
Turn into a bird dog or a buyer.
What is a bird dog, by the way, for the viewers that are watching?
A bird dog is just someone who basically scouts out properties for you. You can pay them, you know, a small commission or even partner with them. You know, in certain circumstances.
In your case, you had some bird dogs join your team.
Yeah, bird dogs have joined my team, and that's how we built it. And yeah, so with those signs, I wait for people to call me. And also, if the owner is keeping the property up, they're going to see the sign. If they don't want to sell, they're going to just yank it out of the yard and put it in their garage, and they might call me later when they need to sell. Yep. So I've been getting a lot of calls off of that, sellers and buyers. So it's helped me on both aspects.
I got some more sauce, but I don't know if they're ready for it.
What?
To throw on top of exactly what you just said.
What? Go ahead.
And whenever I order a pizza, I order extra cheese, I order extra pepperoni, and extra sauce.
Extra sauce.
This is going to also make whatever you're doing, I hope you implement this as well, because that is genius, what my man just said. Code compliance can't take those signs up.
Exactly.
Because they're on private property.
It's on private property. That's the reason why I do it.
So it's amazing.
It stays
amazing.
up.
And the house is already ran down. Ain't nobody on that property but a homeless person that's probably inside of it that's squatting in the property.
And believe it or not, a lot of those homeless people know the owners. A lot of these people who are squatters, they know the owner. The owners probably even come by once or twice and they're like, man, I just need a place to stay. The owner's not doing that with the property anyway. He's like, man, just don't trash my stuff.
I'm going to give you guys a tip on top of what my man Sheldon just said right here, guys. So highlight this because this is gold right here. But before I give it to y'all, we got to go for a quick break, guys. Remember, ask all the questions that you want because this is more of a conversation than it is just us talking. So like, comment, share. Go for it and drop and tag your friends in the comment section. We're going to be right back right after this commercial break. Thank you, guys.
Propelio.com. What does Propelio offer? Lead generating websites, access to true MLS comps, off-market lead lists, and deal alerts. Get them all today at Propelio.com.
Let me see what you got.
All right, guys, welcome back. So we were just going over some insane marketing concepts. And this is something you can get your team to do. Like literally, I am the bandit sign king in San Antonio, fam.
I bet.
I buy 5,000 to 10,000 signs every single month, and we chop them in half, and then we put them up. We got sign stampers out the way works, bro. So everything that we do in our business is all about scalability. You know what I'm saying? You spend more money. There comes a time in your business when you are so focused on your team's growth that you're going to spend money on their businesses because you want your team to eat. When your team eats, what happens?
You eat.
You eat. So it's a very important concept. But bandit signs is a very good way to get deals. And a lot of people think that they don't work anymore. I'm going to tell you that it's because you don't do them enough. Yeah. And you're not consistent.
You have to be consistent.
And you have to put your signs in a place where they're going to stay up. So my man just gave a huge tip, brother. Go over that one more time because it has to be heard again.
So what I do is I make very small bandit signs about this big or so. Yay. And I just put simply, I want to buy this property. Please call my cell phone. Put my number. And put it on an H stake, stick it in the yard because code compliance can't take it up. It's on private property, as well as a lot of buyers call my number just because they think I'm selling the property, or either the seller will call me if they want to sell. So
you're building, you're literally scavenging for a deal. You're building a buyer's list at the same damn time. That's one of the reasons why I like working the evictions list. Tired landlords. Because if they don't want to sell their rental property, I mean, well, then you want to buy the rental property too. And that is gold.
Yeah.
So I want to throw something on top of this. This is a technique that I use in San Antonio, and this is not something that I like to do where I give away sauce like this.
Oh, man.
But since we're doing the Ground Zero show, I promise I wanted to give you guys some value, man. So I go to very, very busy intersections where I know that traffic is backed up and they're in the middle of neighborhoods. You can do this in several different neighborhoods throughout Dallas County, Houston counties, San Antonio counties, and I go to the corner houses. I walk up to the person's house. The house is beautiful condition. It's one of those ones where everybody looks at because it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's one of the eye-opening houses in the neighborhood. I picked that house because that's the house that gets the most attention when you drive by that home.
Right.
I knock on the door. Mr. Homeowner, how you guys doing? My name is Quentin. I'll tell you what, Mr. Homeowner, how much is your light bill? How much is your water bill? Oh, and they're going to be like, you know, it's $100 a month. My water bill is probably 20. I'll tell you what, for the next 30 days, let me put my really professional bandit sign. It's not a bandit sign that I'm gonna write on. This is the actual advertisement sign. Outside the front of your property.
Man.
And I'm gonna be paying your light bill and water bill every single month.
Too much sauce.
Too much, bro. That right there, it allows my sign to stay up 30 days longer.
Wow.
And guess what happens? I'm gonna get way more calls, way more traction, and for the same amount of money that I would pay somebody, normally I pay 25 cents per sign when you write my signs out, handwriting them, but I'm gonna pay this gentleman 125 bucks to keep my sign out front of his home, and ain't nobody gonna get it.
Yeah.
And not only that, but I got permission from this homeowner to advertise my company in the front of his house. Nobody's gonna take that sign down.
Hey,
Man,
Quentin, I got a
it.
question for you.
Yes, sir.
Now, when you give them a sign, do you give them like multiple signs just in case somebody does steal it and you don't?
I
have to
give
come
them
out?
the sign, and I also give them business cards and flyers, and I have that homeowner call me if something happens to the sign out the front.
Okay, so you don't give them like multiple just in case.
Yeah, good question though, Ryan.
So
good question.
so you think if I told somebody I'll pay their water bill for a year if they let me
keep your sign out
keep a
front.
sign out front?
Yeah.
Oh man, in front of my yard. In my yard, I've got a big banner that runs along my fence. It's a huge, and I live on a semi-busy street, so you know.
It's genius, bro. It's
Hey.
genius. And you know, this is like the cheapest billboard that you will ever get, bro. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, I see.
So it's ninja tactics like that that you can have your team do.
Yeah.
I always have my team go out there and they scout properties, and then we look for the one that seems more advantageous for us to buy. And then if that's the property right there, and then down the street from it is a very beautiful house. Well, if I'm prospecting one house that I know needs a lot of work, I'm going to hit the entire area because I want this homeowner to see that I'm very interested in buying this house.
Wow.
He's going to walk outside every day, grab the paper, go and kiss his wife, and then go leave to work. He's going to see my sign out the front of his piece of crap house, and I'm going to buy that shit.
You know, a lot of another thing I do is door knocking, man. Yo, door knocking is like one of the biggest things in my business.
Yeah,
you
bro.
know?
I have a friend of
A lot of people
mine.
are scared to knock doors.
Dude, and those are the people that are behind on their business, leaving money on the table.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I used to do it myself. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I applaud you for still doing it with your team.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, we had the conversation yesterday, right?
Yeah.
You are either the person who's going to charge in a battle with your team for the
Yeah.
morale,
Right.
which is cool because I work just as hard as my team, fam.
Right. Or you just gonna let them go in there and get slaughtered?
Or you're gonna let them go in there and get slaughtered. You're either the war
Yeah.
coordinator, but every master, sergeant, or lieutenant or commander of an army has the strategist.
Yeah.
And this goes back to the art of war. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
It's just like that in business, bro. All of your people need to be led by you. You can tell them to go knock on doors. You can teach them how to do it, but it's also good to lead by example.
Oh, most
And that's
definitely.
something I got to work on.
We all have to work on that sometimes, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes you get to the point where it's like, they got it, you know, and you know that your people are dependable, and sometimes we got to get out of that, and sometimes it's hard not to fall into that at times. So, I get it. I mean, when I door knock, I use sticky notes. I mean, I got sticky notes off of Vistaprint. They're pre-written sticky notes. Like, it just has my company name and blah,
Slap
blah,
them
blah,
on the
blah.
door, make
Literally.
it a bitch for them to take it off.
Oh, yeah, man. Just like I'll have a piece of tape and just tape it on the door. Hey, came by, blah, blah. I write out, like if I'm doing 10 door knocks for the weekend or for the week that day, I'll just go ahead and write out whatever. Hey, my name is Sheldon Epperson. I wanted to buy your house on. I'll leave that part blank. Please call my cell phone. And then when I get to the house, if no one answers the door, write it in, man.
I love it, bro. I
Write
love
it
it.
in.
There's so much science to behind what we're saying, and we could break this stuff down into crazy detail.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? But definitely one thing that I've always done to anybody who's like, you can even put this in the letter, and I don't know the science behind it, but I've closed a lot of deals because of this. When somebody's like, oh, I need some time to think about it, or, you know, I'm not sure why I got this letter, but you know what? I guess I'll keep it in my back pocket.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll hear from me.
Yeah.
I always tell them, and I don't know what the science behind this is, but it works a lot. There's another golden nugget that I want to give you guys. Mr. Seller, Mrs. Seller, I know you don't want to sell your house right now, and maybe you might not feel like it's the time, but before you make a final decision on this home in particular, I want to be the last call that you make. Can you make me that? Can you give me that? Can you promise me that? And they're like, what? Like, and then they see the conviction in my voice, and they're like, okay, I will, Quentin, I will. All right, thank you, Mr. Seller. It was thank you for inviting me into your home. I know this is your house, and I just want to tell you that I appreciate you letting me in here. And you have yourself a wonderful day. God bless all of you, and tell them God bless you, because we live in a Christian state right now.
Right.
You know, prominently dominant through religion. Tell somebody God bless. Mean it with your heart, and know that you're speaking the Lord's love into that family's heart.
For sure.
Next thing you know, brother, a couple weeks later, they're going to call you. They're either going to tell you that they didn't want to sell, or that they do.
Or that
And
they
boom,
do.
you get the
One or
deal.
the other. You know, whatever they're thinking about. That's some extra sauce right there,
Bro,
too.
teach your team that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's all about.
One thing that we do is I have an email template that I've written up. And on every person that we contact, when we talk to them, the first thing we do is send out an email. What this email consists of, it says, hi, Mr. Seller, thank you for speaking with me. And here's the thing, like if you're on the phone with me and you say, no, I don't want to sell my house. Okay, listen, well, I want to offer you a free report. And this report is at no cost to you, no strings attached. Wouldn't you like to know what your house is worth right now on the market, whether you want to sell it or not?
Boom.
Okay, yeah, sure. The thing is just to get their email. I just want to get their email. So I get their email. And then next thing you know, they've got an email sent out to you. On the email, it basically says, thank you for speaking with me. Please see the values below. There will be, all you're going to do is go to the county record and snip the county record, put it there. In the email, it says the county record does not have the true value of what your home is worth. I've taken the liberty and the time, because now you're telling them, hey, I'm giving